me. Okay. Good morning, friends. Hopefully everybody's having a bomb morning. I hopped on the power hour and I freaking love power hours because I just get so much done. So anyways, okay, so I was journaling this morning. I was just really diving deep into just like speaking of God this morning, and I am just feeling it, and I'm so excited. So we've been actually talking about seasons in life, and this past month and the month before, I felt like I learned a lot from my team members and learned a lot just from people that was surrounding me, because each person was going through like a different season, and they were all meant to serve every single one of us. Like, I was going through a season where I was learning really how to grow in my leadership and how to grow as a human and care for others and things like that. And it was really beneficial. And so I want to continue to talk about seasons, because going into the winter months, or not winter yet, because I feel like that's a little fast track, into the fall months leading up to winter, I feel like people put a stigma or put like this thing on seasonal depression, which I do know it's a real thing. I'm not discounting it, but I feel like I want to prepare you to know that, like, coming into different seasons and stages of your life, they are all meant to benefit you. I spoke about this yesterday, and so I want people to know with the confidence of going into every season that every season serves you and benefits you. And so it's going to sound a little bit repetitive, but this is a completely different study from what I did yesterday and the days before. So this one says, recognize the seasons of life. And then it says, in life, there is times of multiplication. There are also times of drought and hardship. Have you ever noticed how these seasons of life mirror the passing of the natural seasons? Let's see. Ecclesiastes, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm still not as good with the Bible names, so bear with me. It says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Naturally speaking, winter is often cold and barren. Nothing blooms. Animals hibernate. Then spring comes, brings freshness and new life. During this summer, there is heat. In fall, it's time for harvest. Just as there are seasons in nature, our lives have seasons. Some are barren and cold. Some are filled with new hope and new life. In some seasons, we plant and water, and we don't see anything come up for a while. But then comes the harvest. If you're in a winter season right now, don't quit or just get discouraged. Spring is coming in your life just as surely as it comes in the natural every year. God hasn't stopped multiplying you. Your season of increase is coming if you'll simply keep believing. Seasons are temporary. The hard seasons don't change your destiny. During the winter and summer times of your life, seeds are growing under the ground. When my children were babies, I can remember thinking, I can't wait until they walk. And when they did, it added new challenges to my life. For one, they no longer stayed where I put them. The second season is, I can't wait until they go to school. And then soon enough, they did. And then again, there are a whole new set of challenges for them and for me. After a while, I realized that there was always going to be a new season and a new challenge. So I was never going to be able to like run away from it. I might as well not get in a hurry, enjoy the season we were in, and embrace the next one when it comes. There are always going to be seasons in your life. If you don't like the season you're in, there's good news. It's going to change. Conversely, if you love the season you're in, be sure to enjoy every single moment, because it too is going to change. If you're in a season of multiplication right now, enjoy it and save up. If you're in a season of barrenness or heat, don't worry, your season of increase is coming, because God is still in the multiplication business. And something that I really want to share with you guys is, it's popped up a reminder, one second, where it says that God's in the multiplication business, and no matter what season you're in, the season that you're praying for is right around the corner. The season that you really want to be in, because some people are in the barrenness stage where you're in the winter, is what it feels like, where you're in the planting seeds moment, to where you don't have as many seeds planted. In this business, I can relate this to a lot, and especially since there are newer people on here. If you've never been in a planting seed season in this business, I'm going to warn you right now, it is not meant to harm you. It is always meant to help you. So if you're in a season of where you're like, my enrollments really aren't that up, or I thought my enrollments would be higher. Last month, I literally thought my enrollments would be higher, if we're being honest, but I genuinely think it was just a planting seed season for me. So guess what? All the seeds that I planted for the past year, for last month, the month before, I know I'm harvesting them right now. I'm getting them planted, and they're growing in the ground. So on the seasons where I truly deeply need it, they're going to harvest. It always happens that way, and the seasons are always meant to serve us. And I think we have to remember that, because we are such a society to where we expect things to go right in the instance. And I told y'all, and no matter what season you're in, It's meant to grow your character for the things that you're praying for. If you're praying for promotion, or if you're praying for something really big to happen in your life, and I've been honest on here, I've been praying for just like this massive duplication on my team, for girls to just pop up and promote, for girls to see that they can do it themselves. Like, I've been praying for this, and I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it, and I've been waiting for it, because I know that if it were to happen 2 months ago when I wanted it to happen, we would have crumbled. But now I feel like we're finally in this structure to where we can handle it, we can figure it out, and we can do it. And so I'm in a season of what is it, the I guess no, I get confused. I don't know if harvesting is like necessarily where you uproot everything, or if harvesting is still the planting season. So bear with me. But I feel like I'm in a season to where I can now see the goodness of what I was planning for so long. And some of y'all are on the opposite. Some of y'all are like, well, it kind of feels like winter over here. It's a little bare. Bear with me. Okay. I've been in this business, and I've been just in life, obviously, because I'm 24, about to be 25 this month. And so I've seen a lot of seasons in my life, and I've questioned God time and time and time and time again, because I always go through the same things. When things are good, I lean less on him. When things are bad, I lean really on him. And so I made it a vow, because things are going so good right now. I like made it a vow to God today. I was like writing out and journaling to him. I was like, please allow me not to forget you in the seasons that are good, because you still provided this season. And it allows me to be present and in the moment, and just being grateful for every little thing. And that's why I tell you guys to do gratitudes, because it brings you back down to a humble state of being grateful for the season and where you're at right now. If you're in a season where you're like, I absolutely hate everything in my house, I want it to go, I hate my house that I'm living in, I hate my living situation, I hate this and that and whatever, you can still know that it serves you, and trust God and say, thank you, God, for putting me through this season, because now I know what I want, and now I know what I don't want. Okay. And so there are so many different things that we can learn in life. And again, if we're trying to move too fast ahead, and we're like, oh, we have all these goals, I want to be debt free in the next year, but you're not focusing on the little things to get there, and you're not focusing on where you're at right now and say, okay, how can I grow today? Then you're not going to be as grateful for the season that you're in. You're not going to notice what season you're in, because you're just going to want to try to dig out of it as quickly as you can to get to that goal. And being just where I'm at in this business too is like knowing that any level that you promote to, in any situation that you go higher in, and every time you bring on a new team member, you promote a little bit higher and higher and higher. And guess what? And just because you promote and get higher up in the business, and higher in the leadership, and higher in this like paycheck and all these different things, it doesn't mean the devils or like situations and complications completely go away. You're just able to handle more, and you're able to handle more. And so if you are praying for something and you haven't quite gotten it yet, just trust God that God's telling you, hey, you do all you can, and I'm going to bless the work that I think needs to be blessed, and then I'm going to plant the rest. I'm going to allow you to harvest the rest. And so I think a lot of us need that situation, or that viewpoint on things, because just like seasons in well, I guess life in general, there are seasons within you. And so you have to kind of declare and figure out what season you're in, and don't get Cooper. He's tearing up my new rug. It's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna beat him up after. Anyways, it's a really nice rug, but we're not gonna go into that. So I just want people to know that, because I think a lot of people need encouragement, especially when things like that happen. Because again, like we always think that the devil, like we give the enemy too much credit. Like we're like, oh, the enemy's attacking us. Oh, the enemy hates us. Oh my gosh, the enemy hates the season that I'm in. Oh my gosh, the enemy hates that I'm doing so good. Even though the enemy never likes to see that you're trusting God and abiding by God and like trusting him through every season, doesn't always mean that he's meaning to attack you directly. It's sometimes God. It's sometimes God putting you through these things, or helping you through these things to help you see you're not alone. But you can't depend just on yourself to get through this. And so what season are you in? That's something I want you to identify today. And then ask yourself, how are you depending on God through this season? Even if it's the best season of your life, like I said, it's a really good season for me. And so what am I doing to depend on God today? While I'm waking up every morning, I'm looking at my surroundings and I'm saying, God, thank you. Like, thank you so much for putting me in this. I know that I can't walk throughout my day without trusting you and you guiding me, because you put me in here in the first place. And so I just think that's really, really, really good. And then also, where did it say? Sorry, I'm pulling this back up. Oh, it exited out. LOL. Okay. it says to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And then it says nothing blooms in winter, but then the spring comes and brings freshness and new life. And so if you're in the season of like, you feel like doom, gloom, all this good stuff, know that your season of freshness is coming along the way. And imagine the feeling, and you can constantly picture this, because I know I do this when I'm in a hard season, is I visually like imagine the freshness of what it's going to feel like when I wake up and feel completely revived. And I just focus on that feeling instead of focusing on the like hard feeling that I'm feeling now. Because I told y'all last month and the month before is I was going on and off where I felt like I didn't feel God. And it's a very irritating, cold, lonely feeling, because you're like, God, you're supposed to be my supplier, you're supposed to be here all the day, but I don't feel you, I don't see you, I don't you're not showing up in my life. And so I just really counted on the goodness of what he's provided with me before, and that's what got me through the seasons too. So imagine, like I've done this before and I've told you all to do this when journaling, whatever season you're in, just write down the things that he's gotten you through before. I know like all of us are at least 20 years old and above. So like all of us have been through different seasons in our life. So a lot of us have testimonies. All of us have testimonies. Whether you believe it or not, we all have testimonies. If you went through the hardest thing in your life that you ever thought possible, but you're still here, you made it. Okay. And so that's a testimony for God to heal you through the times that you just didn't think that you would be healed. And where is that? And it says, if you're in a winter season right now, don't quit or get discouraged. Spring is coming in your life just as surely as it comes in the natural every year. God hasn't stopped multiplying you. Your season of increase is coming if you'll simply keep believing. And that's something that I want to recognize too, is God's in the multiplication business. And so I want you to know that whatever you're doing right now, say you're in the season of waiting, you're in the waiting season, you're like, I don't know what to do. You continue to be grateful and he's going to multiply that. You just have to trust that. It's in the word of knowing he's multiplying constantly. My dog just but he's in the multiplication business. And so you have to trust that whatever you're doing, whatever you're working towards, whatever you're praying over, he's going to multiply if it serves him the right way. And so my dogs are barking. I do apologize. But hopefully that kind of gives you some perspective today to know that whatever work you're doing, hey, Rufus, come here. Whatever work you're doing today, he's going to multiply. And so if you're in a season of like waiting, especially in the business, and you feel like your enrollments or whatever is not coming as quickly, I promise you the work that you're doing is still going to get paid off. I'm looking at my planner right now, and I got all my tasks done. I messaged everybody. I did absolutely everything I could possible, got all host to post up. And guess what? I only had one conversation with potential customer. One. And I normally have at least 20 or 30. One. So guess what? I'm going to do it all over again, and I'm going to trust the process. And I already woke up with 3 new conversations today. So like, it just shows you like, no matter what, just keep doing it and it's going to be multiplied. And I know that the fruition and things are going to come. Like I'm so confident because he's provided every single season. Like I'm not getting discouraged and saying, oh my gosh, I didn't get conversations today. Oh my gosh, I did blah, blah, blah. Like so many people complain after they didn't get like, the things that happened yesterday didn't happen how you wanted. Like, why would you complain about that? Just say thank you and move on. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, Grace, since my dogs are being loud, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to share something. Because they're being so annoying. So I do apologize for that, you guys.
Okay, so this actually happened like when I was a child. But it's something that has just like literally stuck with me. Hold on. Sorry if my TV's too loud. I don't know where my remote is. So my grandma actually had double pneumonia and was in the hospital for 8 weeks. And like she was on life support, like they were literally about to pull the plug. And then I went to church with my childhood best friend, and I had her mom pray for my grandma, and the next day she was fine. She got off life support completely fine, has never been back in the hospital. So like I literally have chills talking about it, but like that's just one thing, and that happened when I was a child. There's a million things that has happened since then, but that is just stuck with me, and I can't not think about it every day.
No, I love that, because I have stories like that too, where I'm like, it was only God. Like, that's literally all I can describe, is that it's only God in that situation. And so when I am going through a harder season, or I just even like having a bad day, then I rely back on those good memories, you know? And so it's kind of like a relationship. Like, say that you and your spouse were fighting, or you and your significant other were fighting or whatever, and you're irritated in that moment. But when you reminisce on all the good times, you're like, okay, it's just a fight. I'll get over it, you know? And so it's like that too. Like in life, when something bad's happening, it's not there to destroy you. It's just there for a second, or maybe sometimes it is a longer season. Like last year when I went through my 3 month depression, God forbid, I pray that nobody ever goes to that. But like it lasted for 3 months, you know, but I'm out of it. And so I can look back on that and even say that God got me through it. And I love the healing stories, because healing is on like a whole other level. So that was really good. So thank you. And I don't know if y'all saw me comment, but y'all can go ahead and drop your prayer request below. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.